Hello, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh God, I hope this works. Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday. It is, hopefully, Sidewinder Saturday. Oh, now, remember I did a test during the week and it managed to work, so I've made some changes. I've turned off the auto-update and everything else. Hopefully everything works. Now, there's two technical issues I've had. One last week, obviously, was I think the auto-updating, which killed the stream after half an hour. So if we get past half three, happy days, happy days. I have had an issue where one day my microphone will be fine and all the audio will be fine and everything will sound brilliant, and then the next day, with all the same settings, the volume will be like a million times quieter. When I did that test Skyrim stream on Wednesday, everything was really quiet, but it had the same settings as today. So I don't know why. So I think I've done some testing today, this morning, and everything sounds alright. So let me know if everything's nice and voluminous. All my little VU meters are telling me everything's the right volume. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, welcome, welcome. It is Sidewinder Saturday, hopefully. If you've not seen one of these before, basically, I just spend 3 hours of a Saturday carrying on with my game of Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One X. My mission, should I choose to accept it, which I have, is to remain with the ship that I started the game with, the little Sidewinder that I got given when I started this playthrough. And I'm not allowed to use any other ships. And ideally, I'm not allowed to get this ship blown up. I'm tempted to play this as a kind of permadeath. If my ship gets destroyed, then we just stop, because I'm not allowed to use anything other than the first ship I received. Now I've been playing for a little while. As you can see, I've got up to 56 million credits because I did some, little sort of data missions at the start of the game before I started streaming it. So what we're doing at the minute is this is the good ship Squishywidge AR5E, as you can see. This is the good ship Squishywidge. This is my ship. I don't know if I'll go for that kind of permadeath thing. I might not. We'll see how it goes, but that's a plan at the moment. If I get blown up, that's it. End off. We'll see. It just gives me an incentive not to crash my ship. But here we are. This is the Squishywidge. At the moment, we've just spent a little while upgrading the frameshift drive, and I want to get it as upgraded as much as I can before I then try and make a break for the black hole Sagittarius A star at the centre of the Milky Way galaxy. Probably never get there. Probably blow up before then. But let's crack on. So if you've not seen this before, basically I'm just playing this over weekend anyway, and I decided I may as well have you guys join me and hang out. So let's find out how it goes. That's all it is. I'm just going to be playing this while we're doing all the upgrades and things like that with engineers. I'm driving around and doing bits and bobs. Once it gets to actually exploring deep dark space where there's no civilization, it might get a bit boring. But for the moment, we're still doing all the engineers and stuff. And I'll talk about that in a second. As always, though, this is a typical one of my streams. I can't remember what you can see on screen. Hang on, I've got nothing on screen right now. Let's put that on there. And let's put that on there. There we go, that was missing. I think that's everything. There we go. Everything's nice and shiny now. So yes, this is one of my typical streams. So as always, I've got the chat in front of me. If you're watching this and you can't see the live chat, you can see the chat in the little blue box on the right. I do recommend you come and join in the live chat, because when I do these streams, really, you're not really watching this as a telly program. You're just having this on in the background, listening to me waffle, and you're hanging out with people in chat. So do come and join the guys in chat, guys and girls in chat. It is. Don't panic every time it buffers, Dad. That's probably just Pants Broadband and YouTube. I wouldn't worry about that. It's if it just kind of stops altogether. Shouldn't do. Yeah, so come and join the live chat. If you're watching this and you can't see where the live chat is, click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner. That'll take you to the YouTube page where this is streaming, and you can join the live chat. If you're on a mobile device like a tablet or a phone, then while you're watching on a phone, horrible. But if you're watching on a phone, thank you for persevering. Scroll down below the video though, the live chat might be under there. If you want to get my attention, I'm going to depend on you guys to give me stuff to talk about, because God knows I'll need it for 3 hours. So do feel free to ask me questions, give me stuff to talk about in chat. You can put your comments in big fat capital letters so I have a chance to see them. However, if you really want to get my attention and make sure I see your comment, and also at the same time support this channel, use the super chat option, the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That allows you to make a tiny contribution to my channel and keep this channel going, and also it means I get your comment in a big coloured box and a little animation pops up and I can't miss whatever you've just said. So do feel free to do that. Also, don't forget, of course, We do have in the top left corner there, the George Gabriel is your current stream boss. Very, very quickly, stream boss battle is a way for you guys to raise a big pot full of hundreds of pounds that one of you will be lucky enough to win. George is the current stream boss, my very, very good friend and Patreon supporter George. All you need to do to try and get to become the stream boss, you need to get his health down to 0. Whoever gets his health to 0 wins all the money in the pot. How does the money get in the pot? When you want to take his health down, you go to the tip jar. There's addresses at the bottom of the screen there on the left. It's streamlabs.com/model-making-guru. Every time you put a tip in the tip jar, I don't get that money. That money goes into a community pot for you guys. Whoever gets him to 0 wins all the money in that pot to spend at Games Workshop, Forge World, or if you're in the EU, Goblin Gaming. So get your tips going through to the tip jar and get George's health down. You can't see it there, but he has lost one little bit of health already. So he's slowly going down. Going down. Then you'll be the stream boss and you'll get to win all that good stuff. Right. So I need to very, very quickly remember what the hell I'm doing with controls, because I can't remember. I need to go and set a place in the star map. Has it even bothered to... No, I haven't got anywhere in the star map yet. Cool. Right. So, here's the plan for today. If you remember, I am in the... When it gets there. Oh, by the way, if this stream should fall over in approximately 25 minutes, which it might do, I can't guarantee it won't. If it does fall over, I will restart it, but it won't be this page. So if you're watching this and it all just falls over, then what you need to do, it'll be I'll have to start a new stream. So if it does crash and fall over, then just give it a minute. If it hasn't come back, then go to my main YouTube page, the Model Making Guru YouTube channel page, and a new stream will pop up. Keep refreshing it, and a new stream will pop up there, because I'll have to restart the stream. It'll be a whole new spawn of the stream, so it won't be the same page and chat. So do go and have a look. So I'm in the Desiat system. We went to visit Felicity Farseer, who's the engineer who lives on this little place here. Now we are currently on this little planety thing here. We are here at Kirtley Vision, because very good reason why we're here. We need to pick up some arsenic and some magnesium, I think. And this planet is quite rich in arsenic and magnesium. If you look on the bottom left there, it's got arsenic's 2.1% and manganese, sorry, not magnesium. Manganese is 9.5%. Why do I need to get these delightful items? Because Felicity Farseer was in the process of upgrading my frameshift drive, which is my space engine. Space engine! And that's not what I wanted. What do I want to do? I want to go here, but it's not fully updated. Now, the thing I've said about this this ship is this is the starting Sidewinder. It's a teeny tiny. It's like a Ford Fiesta of the spaceships. Like the biggest spaceship you get in this game is the size of like 6 Titanics long. It's the size of like an entire colony ship. But this is the Sidewinder, which is the size of a thumbnail. It's basically a cockpit with an engine on the end, and it's because it's the starter ship. It's Billy budget basic. It's not brilliant. It does everything, but not brilliantly. So the jump range to get from start to start is quite small. So I want to engineer it so I can get maybe around about 25 to 28 light year jump, which is still not brilliant, but it's better than, you know, nothing. Because if I've got a really short jump range, I'm limited to where I can go in the Milky Way. So we've done some engineering. We've done these steps here. We've got level 3 modifications on it. Now I need to do level 4 and level 5 to get it fully updated for the frameshift drive. You can see here on this side, go up to the top here, it's saying we need chemical distilleries and eccentric hyperspace trajectories, which we've got. We haven't got manganese. And then to go to the next level after that, we need arsenic. So what I need to do is go and find some arsenic and manganese. Now you probably could buy it at a shop on one of the space stations, but that might take forever, you know, to find someone that's selling it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to wander around on the planet's surface and see if I can scoop it up, and we'll keep looking around until, you know, when we get them, we'll upgrade the engines. So there's nothing else for me to do in here. I need to just make sure I'm fully maintained. Now you can see my paintwork there is at 70%. I have no intention of updating my paintwork. I'm going to leave it just to erode naturally until it gets to 0%. Then it'll look nice and lovely and weathered. So before we get going, what I'm going to do, I will have a quick look at the chat. Let's have a look and see who is in here. Oh, yes, as Dad just pointed out, he shouted Bevan. Let me... Now, I've not played this for a couple of weeks and I've forgotten all the buttons already. Let me introduce you to your pilot. Obviously, I am technically your pilot, but your sort of pilot is Bev Bevan from that 1970s ELO. So there you go. Your pilot today and always, that Bev Bevan. Now, he hasn't got a spanky outfit because I don't really want to spend actual proper money in this game. And when I first started playing Elite, there was a lot of stuff you got free, like outfits, and just with the in-game currency. But now, you have to spend actual real-world pounds and pence unless you accrue enough space monies in the game. So at the moment he's wearing a default outfit, which is a bit rubbish, but it's got that kind of 1970s kind of prog rock, slightly ELO style spaceship coming down on stage outfit, so it looks quite cool. But yeah, you can see here it's not a big cockpit, this is your entire cockpit. There we go, there's the Squishywidge. I'll have a quick look at chat while you sit and adore my Squishywidge. I'll probably never say that ever again. I missed obviously the first few people in, but Lynn Dipple did pop in and say hi to you all. I'm off to work. Have fun. Catch you later. Thanks, Lynn. She works on Saturdays and Sundays. Candygram from Mongo is in. Eric Graham, welcome, Eric. Dad, of course, is one of your mods, as is Chris at Gross Models, both in at the moment. The mods are lovely people. They're soft and fluffy and squishy. They're like little squishy marshmallows that you can look after you. They'll protect you and keep you safe at all times in the chat. Unless you cross them, in which case they'll drop you into a vat of Smilex and you'll just turn into the Joker and then fall off a church tower and die. So probably best you don't cross them. We have... That went somewhere, didn't it? We have Quano Man is in, local lad. We have... who else have we got in? Anybody else come in? Eric Graham, Gross Models, Quano Man again. Skull. We have... I've not got a button for this. I'll have to do it manually. Skullfish. I don't know what that sounded like. If it was really loud, I do apologise. Skullfish is in. Welcome, Skullfish. Advert for EVE Online before your stream. Oh, before my Elite stream. Oh, how rude. Let's have a look. We should get people to vote on hat style. Yes, there's a comment. We had a little conversation there that when we do the E-Models live stream, me and Colin wear sweet hats, whereas Ted and Chris don't. And we're carrying their backsides with the hat department, so they need to get hats sorted out. Permanent hats. Eric Graham says he thinks Chris needs a proper cowboy hat. Yeah, Skullfish says 10-gallon hat. Chris says 20. 50, god damn it, says Skullfish. Let's have a look. Mr. Creosote, bucket. They just clocked a star doing 1/10 the speed of light orbiting our black hole, says Skullfish. Yes, oh, that's another point. Interesting fact, that. Interesting point. I love science. I know very little about it, but I love it. I adore it. So if you want to talk about, because I'll be doing a lot of just driving around or flying through space, for the love of dog, please talk about science in the chat and talk about sciencey things and ask questions and all kinds of interesting about space and the universe or anything physics. Doesn't matter. Ask lots of questions. Where are we? Are we still working? Not hit that button yet. But we have nobody new in yet. I don't think everybody's in. Right, I think I've covered everybody. They're talking about whether I've broken the stream yet. Not yet. Right, so we currently have 14 wonderful people watching. Let me just move something out of the way. Hang on. There's something getting in the way of my view of things. There's 14 of you watching. There's only about 6 of you in chat, though, so do come and join in. If you're watching this, don't be afraid. Come and join in the live chat. It's jolly good fun. And say hello. Tell us where you are. Of course, Dad, if you would ask the most important question, please, which is, of course, what's on your bench? What's in your belly? But Dad needs to ask it in chat as well. Right, so anyway, let's crack on. So, what we need to do is we need to... Oh, Swigging Pig is in. Welcome, Swigging Pig. We are in a planetary station here, so I need to move away from the station so I can start shooting things to get minerals out. So we're going to launch. Let's just crack on. Now, I've got to be careful on this planet because it's a 2G planet almost. It's 1.6G. You can see there on the bottom right of my head-up display it says 1.67G. So I need to be careful. I can't do any spuriously fast landings here because I will just break everything. Let's just get ourselves up and away from the ground. We need to be 7 kilometers from the space station. There we go. Dad asked the question, what's in the bench? What's on your belly and what's in the bench? No, what's in the bench? What's on the bench and what's in your belly? What are you working on, model-wise, right at the moment? Or if you're not a model maker, what creative things have you got on the go? And what's in your belly? What have you had for your dinner? Or what are you going to have for your dinner? What you've got planned? Oh yeah, so we're just flying away from the base here. Well, we don't have to go far. I'll show you where we've come from. Let's have a look. We've come from. Does it give me a view looking back? No. No. No, it doesn't give me a view looking back. Never mind. We've just come from a planetary-based station. But they have a no-fire zone. And if you remember last week, just before everything fell over, I did try and mine some minerals and fire my gun and got 100 credit fine because I was in a no-fire zone. So yeah, that didn't end well. So I went and paid the fine. That's where we start off today. So there we go. So how is everyone? How are you all doing? How's the audio and video, by the way? Is it looking good? I'm trying something daring today. Instead of dropping my Xbox down to 1080p, I've got it playing at full 4K HDR, so I get to look at nice pictures, and it does mean you might get to look at something quite good as well. So risk it for a biscuit and go for a boost towards the planet's surface. What can possibly go wrong? Full power to shields. You can see on the right hand side of my HUD the little yellow bar. You can see the altitude there is 1.65 kilometers. I've got to keep an eye on that. 2G, remember, so I've got to be very careful how I use my boost and lateral thrust. If I suddenly hit the thrust and I'm trying to land and I go too fast, I could explode by crashing into the surface at 2 times gravity. And the shields on this ship are not the most powerful in the world because, again, it is a tiny Sidewinder. So I've got to be careful. So let's just get landed first, and we'll do some mining type stuff. So I've got to go in slowly. I can't just plonk down on the surface. I've got to go steadily. 560 meters. If you think the HUD looks confusing, it's not. It's basically just altitude and angle of ascent or descent. It does have global coordinates as well, but I don't care about that. Right, so 200 meters. I'm going landing gear down, which gives us a little bit of stability. Try and land somewhere reasonably not mountainous.
Landing gear deployed.
There we go. See how I suddenly sort of scooted forward a bit there? The other difficult thing is, of course, if you don't play this for a little while, especially with a Sidewinder, which is really nippy and responsive on the controls, you do actually forget how responsive it is, and that's why I might be a bit jittery at start. So, because the gravity's high, my altitude is 29 meters. If I just blip the lateral thrusters, I go down like 5 or 10 meters. I've got to be really careful. I can't go down too fast. Oh, nearly. 2, 1. There we go. Touchdown. Right, so we're landed. Let's get the space car out. Yeah, it's time for some space car driving. Right, let's have a quick look at what people are doing. Right, so just get away from the ship. I've also got to be careful in the SRV, this little car, because of the gravity. I can't get too handy. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a massive risk. And I'm going to dismiss the ship. Which is a big risk, because there's always the chance when it comes back to me, it may crash land. It may land too harshly and explode. But I'll take the risk. I'll take the risk. So we'll dismiss the ship. There we go. Bye, ship. Bye. Please don't explode when you come back. Now, you might be wondering why I did that. And it's purely because the ship shows up on your material scanner, which is that little sweepy thing at the front of my head-up display there. Minerals and things you want show up on the bottom, like you can see all those little speckly patterns. That's stuff I'm looking for, minerals and things. Metallic and man-made objects tend to show up on the top of the scanner. And can be interesting things that I want to find, but can also be my own ship or other people's ships. So I don't necessarily want to see them on my scanner. So just getting rid of my ship means it makes life a little bit easier. Have a quick look at chat. People are saying about their bench and belly. Chris said, I had a sandwich, pulled beef, and I just had a watch on my bench for a new battery. There you go. Because Chris is at work, and he's don't forget, of course, Chris is an horologist. That's my best Radio 4 voice. An horologist. I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry, if that's really loud in your ear, I won't do it again. Skullfish says, belly, coffee and chocolate muffins. Yes. Bench 50/50 LED lights. Strip to customise my Ender 3. Don't know what any of that means, but it sounds good. That says audio and video spot on. Eric Graham says, belly, bowl of cereal and coffee. You need to tell us which cereal, Eric. You can't just say cereal. We need to know. A bench in between projects, doing some scenery work on my model train layout later on today. Cool. Chris at Gross Model says, if it explodes, I'll come and pick you up. What, my space car? If my ship explodes, I end up back in the space station with the brand new ship. It's not fun. Big swig of coffee. Yeah. If my ship blows up, I end up back at the space station, the nearest space station, which is the place we've just come from, in a brand new Sidewinder. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know whether I should do the roguelike kind of permadeath thing, where if the ship blows up, that's it, end of the game, we never do another Elite live stream, because it gives me it gives the whole thing a certain reason to be particularly careful. Because the thing is, if I just replace the ship every time it blows up, there's no real challenge, because you get a free side. If your Sidewinder blows up, you get another free Sidewinder. You have to buy the modules again, but there's no real consequences. We just carry on where we left off at the nearest space station. Now, if I'm, say, 3,000 light years out, and where's my thing? If I'm 3,000 light years out, or 30,000 light years out from civilization, and I blow my ship up, then I end up back in civilization again. So the consequence there is I've wasted weeks and weeks and weeks of travel, because I end up back at civilization. However, it's still not really much of a consequence, because what resources do I need? Are any of these? Let's have a look what we've got. Manganese, straight in, yes. Arsenic, yes. This might be a bit faster than we planned for. Cargo scoop, which is that one. No, how about you select the one that's nearest to me? There we go. But if I have it so it's like a sort of roguelike, so that there are consequences. If my ship blows up, I am absolutely screwed, and that's it, end of. Then it gives me something to. It gives me a challenge. Oh well, let's just. It wants me to do these in this order, obviously. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that, because at the end of the day, like I said before, while we're doing stuff like this, I'm actually doing things, and I'm going to space stations, and got an achievement. What I've got, Combine Harvester, 100 surface resource materials in the SRV. Brilliant. There we go. There's something ahead of me. You see, they've got a little tiny blip on the top of my scanner. That means it could be that I'm heading back towards the space station I just left. It could be an NPC ship, which is boring. Or it could be, perhaps it could be something interesting, like survival pods or something that I can